So here it is, the moment you've all been waiting for to be over. Trtan back time. There it is right there. Okay. May 18, 1964, the Animals record their version of traditional folk song, The House of the Rising Sun. You remember that song?
There is a house
That's
in
the
New
one.
Orleans.
It would become a #1 hit on the UK singles chart and in the US and Canada as a traditional folk song recorded by an electric rock band. It has been described as the first folk rock hit.
Oh.
The Animals recorded their version in 15 minutes in just one take.
Holy moly.
Dylan claimed this is the song that made him go electric. As a traditional folk song, recordings of it date back to the early 1900s. And it was also the first #1 of the British invasion, not by the Beatles.
Holy moly. I sang that on acoustic one time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's not an easy song to sing on. You have to jump that octave.
Yes.
Happy birthday to Perry Como, Pierino Como, born May 18, 1912. American singer, Emmy-winning television personality. As a matter of fact, he was the #1 CBS television personality during his time. Some of his music, Don't Let the Stars Get in Your Eyes in 1952, a #1 hit, and It's Impossible, 1970. He was one of the crooners.
Oh, crooner.
Yeah. May 19th, 1885, Robert Emmett Odlum wanted to prove that people did not die simply from falling through the air, thus encouraging people to jump from a burning building into a net. He jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge into the East River, and while he survived falling through the air, as he'd set out to prove, he died shortly after due to injuries sustained from impacting the water.
Oh, no.
Yes. Happy birthday to Andre the Giant. It's also Cher's birthday.
Yes.
Yes. Andre the Giant, born May 19, 1946. He was a wrestler, billed as 7'4", 520 pounds, and the 8th wonder of the world. If you remember, he portrayed Fessick the Gentle Giant in the 1989 movie The Princess Bride. He was also the first inductee into the WWF Hall of Fame.
I know him from Princess Bride.
Yeah, most people do know.
Amazing.
May 20, 1932, the famed American female aviator Amelia Earhart departs from Newfoundland, arriving in Northern Ireland 15 hours later. Her flight marked the 5th anniversary of Charles Lindbergh's famous first solo transatlantic flight. She was the first one to make a solo transatlantic flight since Lindbergh.
Wow.
5 years to the day.
Wow.
Happy birthday to William George Fargo, born May 20th, 1818. American businessman, co-founder of American Express in 1850, co-founder of Wells Fargo and Company in 1852, mayor of Buffalo, New York from 1862 to 66, and for whom Fargo, North Dakota is named.
Wowza, I didn't know that.
Yeah. May 21st, 1972, Michelangelo's Pietà, the statue of the Virgin Mary holding Jesus in her lap, is attacked by a man with a hammer screaming, "I am Jesus Christ, I have risen from the dead." He smashed her face and broke off her left arm below the elbow. Many of the pieces were taken by onlookers, including Mary's nose, which was never recovered. Her nose was reconstructed from a block cut out of her back.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw that the year before that happened.
Really?
It was gorgeous. Incredible.
So did they leave it like that broken, or did they try to fix everything?
They tried to fix everything. They could not recover the nose, so they cut a block out of her back, and then
Wow.
because there are a bajillion pictures of it, so they had good reference.
Good.
All right, happy birthday to Raymond Burr, William Stacy Burr, born May 21st, 1917. Canadian-born Emmy Award-winning actor. He was in the original Godzilla in 1954. He was the American Reporter. Rear Window, 1954, The Suspected Murder. And many people remember him as Perry Mason from 1957 to 66 and 85 to 93. Also Ironside, he was the title role there as well, from 67 to 75. May 22nd, 1980, the video arcade game Pac-Man is released in Japan as Puck-Man. The game was developed to appeal to women as well as men because most video games of the time had traditionally masculine interests such as war or sports. After some changes, it was released in the US the following October. Changes included changing the names of the ghosts and changing the name from Puck-Man to Pac-Man. You know why?
Why?
There was concern vandals would change the P to
Oh.
F. Scrape it off. It still remains one of the highest grossing and best-selling games of all time.
It's my favorite.
And happy birthday to a local, Horton Smith. You know Horton Smith Golf Course? There he is, right there. Born May 22nd, 1908, American golfer, local boy, born in Springfield. He won the first Masters tournament in 1934 and again in 1936.
Wow.
So that's the guy the golf course here is.
Okay. Didn't know that either.
All right, finally this. What did the surgeon say to the patient who insisted on closing up their own incision?
So what did the patient say to the surgeon?
No, what did the surgeon say to the patient
patient.
who insisted on closing up their own incision?
I have no idea.
Suit yourself. Thank you. I'm here all week.
Should have known that one. Dad
Yeah.
joke time. Suit yourself. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, goodness gracious, Tom. Well, you've intrigued me yet again with facts I had no idea existed.
That's what I'm trying to do.
Is
Yeah,
that
it's
your original
always-
nose, or is that the one they rescalped?
Yeah. Ooh, I'd have a lawsuit if this was a replacement.
All right, friends, don't go anywhere. Coming up, we have more on all the Star Wars-related events happening at the Branson IMAX right after this.